Minister, there's obviously an alarming increase in relation to road fatalities, and I just looked at the figures since 2019. The figures from 2019 and now, it's 50% more, which is kind of staggering, really, because obviously in Ireland we had a very good kind of campaign and awareness around road deaths, and it was going down significantly over the previous 10, 15 years, but that's not the case now. And there's obviously a whole load of factors in kind of why that's happening. And obviously we're one of the most busiest bank holidays of the year, and hopefully, everybody that's travelling across the country, whether they're on bicycles, cycling, or public transport, will come back safely. But there's a chance somebody won't. And hopefully that doesn't happen. But the trends at this moment in time, every single week people are dying on our roads and so forth. I think there's a campaign to be warranted, Minister, in relation to road safety awareness. I remember, and we all remember, the very hard-hitting advertisements around speeding. They were extremely, hard-hitting, they were emotive, but I think they got the message to motorists, to pedestrians, to the cyclists, that through reckless behaviour, people can die. And I think we need to look at more, as I said, more awareness around advertisement, and that should be applied to everybody that uses the road, everybody, across the board. I just want to kind of just talk about cyclists and pedestrians. Obviously, I don't use a car. I'd cycle the vast majority of the time in here, and I think things have got better over the last number of years, but it's still a risky business to cycle in the city centre. And obviously, infrastructure has been in place, but it could be much, much better. But over 30% of all deaths that take place on a road are actually pedestrians and cyclists. It's incredible, really, that figure exists, and I think that needs to be looked at. Why is that happening? And each case is probably different, but I think we need to bring that down significantly, because situations where people are going out just walking, and next of all they're hit by a car, badly injured, or sometimes killed. As I said, we have to kind of find a reason why that is happening. And in fact, it's a 15-year high in relation to them figures. I think there should be a cycling etiquette. There are some cyclists that do not adhere to road rules whatsoever. And I'm not going to mention who they are, but you see some of the behaviour is quite reckless. And at the end of the day, if a cyclist hits a car, they're going to come off worse than a motorist. And that's so I think it's really important that cyclists are aware of their own kind of situation in relation to their own safety, and that's very, very important. And just getting back to the cycling kind of infrastructure, Minister, as I said, the city centre, is getting better, and the spokes coming out of the city centre in relation to infrastructure. I think segregated cycling lanes are very, very important to take the cyclist away from traffic, and that's really, really important. But there are kind of bottlenecks in the city centre that are extremely dangerous, extremely dangerous. In fact, you're taking one's life into your own hands when you're cycling in certain parts of Dublin. It's really, really dangerous, and I think there should be a campaign in relation to cycle safety, pedestrian safety, and everybody to respect each other on the roads. There's more hobby cars than ever in relation to our roads. There's more pedestrians, there's more cyclists. It's great that people are cycling to work. You just look out Ag House out here, there's hundreds of bicycles, people are cycling to work, brilliant, but people want to feel very safe. And I think putting that infrastructure and having alternatives to the car via public transport, I think is very, very important. But I think, the main thing is that we respect each other, and I think there's a There's a huge issue around campaigning around safety for everybody, regardless of what mode of transport they use on our roads. Thank you.
I don't know if